Carrying on my kitchen declutter, we are going to do the fridge and freezer today. Hey beauties, welcome back. It's Robyn, and today we're going to be doing my fridge and freezer. Now, last week I did the pantry, and the week before that I did my kitchen desk and my paper. And those are really good videos, and there's lots of good tips. So you might want to check that out. I'll link them at the end. Now, the whole point of being home is that you can relax and recover and recuperate and just like enjoy life. Now, having clutter and things in your way really takes away from that. And one of the things that can really do that is a messy fridge and freezer. You'll know when it gets really bad. Things will be falling out. It will be hard to cram things in. It's really disorganized and you can't find things. You don't know what you have in there. But it can be insidious. It can sneak up on you and you might not realize that you have a problem until you are like, oh my gosh, this is gonna take me a couple hours to clean. So let's get that done. And then I'm gonna give you some great tips for how to avoid that and maybe prolong things so that you don't have to do a massive clean ever again. Now, if this is your first time here, my name is Robyn and I make videos for people who are trying to declutter all of that excess in their lives and come up with some great habits so that they can actually enjoy being home, so they can relax and put their feet up. So the process to cleaning your fridge isn't super complicated. I'm going to use some of GOCLEANCO's recipes to get things clean because fridges can harbor a lot of bacteria. They can harbor all sorts of crazy things. Even some parasites can be in there, but we'll get to that in a second. So first, you're gonna wanna take all of your stuff out, especially when you're doing the fridge. Now, I try to have fun, so I always wear my earbuds. So I started putting it all out on the counters and I got a good look inside and it was not looking pretty. GOCLEANCO actually recommends vacuuming up any loose grit and dirt, which I love. I never would have thought to vacuum in my fridge before, but I think that's a great idea. And then I'm gonna mix up their classic solution of bleach and Tide. So I'm gonna take 1 gallon of super hot water, 1 teaspoon of Tide, and 1/3 of a cup of bleach. Now this will help kill any of that bacteria and any other yucky bugs in there. Next, you're gonna wanna take the shelves off of your doors if you can, any other little doors you have, and some drawers. I'm leaving the large shelves in there just because it's really not that bad that I need to go to that length. And like, to be honest, I'm kind of low on counter space at this point. So I'm gonna start scrubbing inside. I've just got one of these awesome cloths, and I'll link them below, that you can get at Costco and you can get on Amazon. And they're really helpful. They're microfiber and they come in a box of like 50 or 75. So the cloth is quite damp. I'm going to put it on each level and sort of let it soak. And then I'm gonna come back with a bit of a drier cloth and give it another wipe and a scrub. And then start washing the door. My gloves. There's a hole in this. See? So I'm gonna go get some different gloves and I'm gonna have to get more at the store. Ooh, they're wet with bleach and Tide. Not good for the skin, and that's why I wear the gloves. Once you're done washing the shelves, dry everything off and put it back. And the freezer, you do have to be a bit more careful. Things can defrost. Some of my fruit that I keep in the door normally did defrost a little bit on the counter, but it's not a big deal. Other things you would want to be more careful with, but fruit and bread and things like that will defrost more quickly. So I'm taking a bunch of stuff out of my freezer, and the freezer was the thing that really kind of terrified me the most, and you might kind of be in the same situation, I don't know. But I did learn a lot, and I will get to those tips in a second. But moving quickly and shuffling things around, I did the same thing. I vacuumed, I was able to pull some of the drawers out and clean in and under them, drying everything off. And then I put everything back in categories, which I do like to use. And I did that in the pantry, as I mentioned before. I will link that at the end. The categories are helpful, so check out the tour to see what I'm talking about. This would be the fermented section. I mean, it looks so much better. I love it. We do keep some old foil just for when my son feels like deep frying. I grabbed this out of the freezer when I did the freezer because I'm going to make some mango flavored kombucha. It's getting a little old. That pot is going to have some yogurt that's strained and our little bit of alcohol. So, but anyway, it just looks so much better. So much room. I will not have any trouble putting things away. Look at that. My condiments. Ooh, it's closing. I just want to point out, this is sort of like the sauces. Really handy. It is tomato paste in a tube. You will love it when you only need like a tablespoon. Love it. Okay, the freezer. I'll put the ice cubes back there, but the door is looking much better. Mostly I just have the fruits for smoothies, nuts, things like that. It's, I mean, it's a freezer. It's gonna have stuff in it. The salmon, all of these stocks that I saved, nice tomatoes and stuff like that. It just looks much better, much better. And some containers I found. This is funny. Okay, there's my drawer full of meat, but this is hilarious. Look how much bacon. Bacon, 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 bacon. Now these bacon I will wrap up in like sometimes 2, sometimes 3, which is really helpful for recipes.
And when I'm all done, I make sure that I vacuum my floor because it gets crazy messy.
So as for the rules that I have for myself that I think you might like, don't freeze random things. So I found that I had frozen all sorts of things. Now, often I will put things in containers to take to eat at work, but if it doesn't get eaten quickly, then you need to take it out and get rid of it. I actually had frozen like dip, like a cooked dip that I had made. Like, who is going to want to eat that? Like, no. So you have to be really mindful when you're choosing to freeze things. Like, why am I freezing this? And the second tip is don't buy new storage containers because a lot of it is probably in your fridge and freezer, and that's probably a good indication that you need to do a fridge and freezer clean. Because last year when I started minimalism, I got rid of a bunch of extra storage containers, and yet lo and behold, where have they all been hiding? In the freezer. And a little bit in the fridge. And also, before you go grocery shopping, take out any things that have not been consumed. Like, I found old leftovers. I found like a plate my kid had put of like chicken wings and bones in there. I don't know why he put that in there. There was a bowl of soup. There were all sorts of gross things in there that just didn't need to be in there. So take all of that out so that you've got room to unpack things, and also then you're keeping your fridge kind of clean, wipe up any spills. Now check out the video I did last week of the pantry. It also has a link to the clean that I did of the kitchen paperwork and the kitchen desk. And this is my video all about minimalism. I think you'll like it. All right, hope to see you next time. Bye.